Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. In the previous videos, we discussed about the convolution operation in detail. We had a 6 by 6 image on which we rotated a 3 by 3 filter and we got a 4 by 4 output feature map. But you might be wondering, how do we know that the output would be 4 by 4? There should be some formula which takes the input dimension of the image, the dimension of the filter, the stride and the padding, and then produces the output feature map size. The same formula we are going to discuss in this video. An image could be in square shape or in rectangle shape, which means the height and width are not the same. So far, in the previous videos, we have worked with only the square images. So we have different set of formulas for these two types of images. Let's first start with the square image. So here is the formula of computing the output dimension of an square image. So what is the formula? The formula is output dimension is equals to input dimensions minus the filter size plus 2 times padding divided by stride plus 1. So the input dimension are the dimension of image. For example, if image is square image, it could be 128 by 128, it could be 512 by 512. So 128 or 512 would be the input dimension. Next is the filter size. So again, filter has its own dimension, and if the filter is also square, so it would be 3 by 3 or 5 by 5 or 7 by 7. So 3, 5 or 7 would be the size of the filter. Now we are adding this into 2 times padding. So what is padding? Padding are the number of borders that you have added to the image. If you have added one border, the padding would be 1. If you have added 2 borders, the padding would be 2. And if there are no borders or no padding, which is technically called padding equals to valid, then the padding would be 0. Stride is the step size that a kernel takes by convolving on an image. So by using this formula, we can calculate the output dimension of a convolutional layer. Now let's confirm with the previous example that if this formula is working or not. So in the previous example, we had a 6 by 6 image, a 3 by 3 filter, there was no padding and the stride was 1. So let's put all the values in the formula and see if we get a 4 by 4 image or not. So the input of the image or image size was 6 minus the filter size, which is 3, plus 2 times padding, there was no padding, so it is 0, divided by stride was 1 plus 1. So it would be 3 plus 1 equals to 4. So the output would be 4 by 4. Let's take another example. We have an image of 128 by 128 and we have 3 by 3 filter with stride 1 and no padding. Let's put this into the formula and calculate the output dimension. The output would be a 126 by 126 matrix. If we increase the filter size from 3 by 3 to 5 by 5, the output feature map size will be reduced to 1 to 4 by 1 to 4, which indicates that when we increase the size of the filter, the output feature map reduces. Similarly, when we increase the stride size, the size of output feature map reduces. Now let's come to second example where we have an image whose height and width are not equal. So this is not a square image. So now we have two formulas, one for the height and one for the width. So the formula is the same. The only thing is that we have made two formulas, one for the height of the image and one for the width of the image. So now the output height equals to input height minus the filter height. So why we have written the filter height here? There is a possibility the filter is also not in square shape. So input height minus the filter height plus 2 times padding divided by stride plus 1. And similarly, we will calculate the output width by using the formula input width minus the filter width plus 2 times padding divided by stride plus 1. Let's take an example of this image. It is a 6 by 5 image and we have a 3 by 3 filter. Stride equals to 1 and there is no padding. So the image is not square, which means we need to use the second formula, that is different formula for the height and different for the width. So first let's calculate the height of the output feature map. So input height, which is 6, minus filter height, which is 3 plus 2 times padding, which is 0, divided by stride is 1 plus 1, we get 4. Now similarly, let's calculate the output width. The input width is 5 minus the filter width is 3 plus 2 times padding is 0, divided by stride, which is 1 plus 1 equals to 3. So the output dimension after applying a convolution filter of 3 by 3 with stride 1 and no padding on an image of 6 by 5, we would get the output of 4 by 3. Now let's discuss how do we calculate the output dimension for a pooling layer. Calculating the output dimension for pooling layer is much simpler because in the pooling layer the filter size and the stride is always the same. For example, if you have a filter of 2 by 2, we will take stride equals to 2 as well. If filter is 3 by 3, we take stride equals to 3 as well. So if the filter size and the stride are matching, then there is a very simple formula to calculate the output dimension of the pooling layer. Let us just divide the input by the stride. So if the stride is 2, divide the input by 2. If the stride is 3, divide the input by 3. For example, here we have a 6 by 6 image and we are going to rotate a 2 by 2 pooling filter on it with stride equals to 2. And as we discussed, the formula to calculate the output feature map after the pooling layer is the input size divided by the stride. So the input image is 6 by 6. So 6 divided by stride, which is 2. So output would be a 3 by 3 matrix. Now let's perform a complete activity on the given CNN architecture. This architecture has different layers and we will go through them one by one. So first we have an input layer which has an input of 128 by 128 by 1. Then we have the first convolutional layer that contains 32 filters of size 3 by 3. The stride is 1 and padding is valid. Valid padding means there is no padding. Then we have a pooling layer with a filter of size 2 by 2 and stride equals to 2. Following this, we have another convolutional layer that contains 64 filters of size 3 by 3. The stride is 1 and the padding is valid. Then again followed by another pooling layer with 2 by 2 filters of stride 2. Then this output is fed to a flattened layer which then passes through a dense or a fully connected layer which contains 128 neurons. Finally, the output is fed to an output layer which contains 10 neurons. Now the task is to compute the output dimension of each of the layer. Now let's start with the first convolutional layer. So the input is 128, the filter size is 3 and there is no padding and the stride is 1. So let's put all the values in the formula 128 minus 3 plus 2 times 0 divided by 1 plus 1. The output would be 126 by 126. This 126 by 126 is the height and width of the output feature map. Now please remember one thing, when we are using a convolutional layer, then the convolutional layer will downsize your image but it will increase the depth of the image. So the depth of the output feature map is determined by the number of filters in the convolutional layer. So the first convolution layer has 32 filters, which means the output depth would be 32. So the output would be 126 by 126 by 32 because we have 32 filters in the convolutional layer. Now we are moving to the pooling layer, and pooling layer will reduce the size of this input image by half. So 126 divided by 2, we will get 63 by 63 output. Now the question is, what about the channels? So the channels will remain the same. The pooling layer does not affect the number of channels. It only reduces the height and width, the dimension of the output feature map. So the output after the pooling layer would be 63 by 63 by 32. Next, we pass this input to a convolutional layer with 64 filters of 3 by 3 with stride 1 and no padding. So let's put the things in the formula. 63 minus 3 plus 2 times 0 divided by 1 plus 1. So we will get output of 61 by 61. Now what would be the depth of this output feature map? It would be 64 because we have 64 filters in this convolutional layer. So the output would be 61 by 61 by 64. Now let's pass this input to the second pooling layer, and this will divide the size by 2. Then we will get 30.5. We will apply floor operation on this and we will get 30 by 30 by 64. Now the next layer is flatten layer, and flatten layer has no weights, it has no filters. What it does just computes the one dimensional vector by multiplying all of the values of the preceding layer. 30 times 30 times 64, by multiplying them we will get a 1D vector of size 57,600. Now the next layer is dense layer, which has 128 neurons. So the number of neurons a layer has, the output dimension is the same. So it would be a vector of size 1 by 128. So the output dimension of the dense layer would be 128. Similarly, for the output layer, there are 10 neurons, which means the output dimension would also be 10. So that is how we computed the output dimension of each of the layer in a convolutional neural network. Now I have an assignment for you. We have this architecture. Most of the things are the same. The difference is the input layer now has 28 by 28 input instead of 128 by 128. The second thing is the padding. Now the padding is same instead of valid. Try to calculate the output feature map dimension for each of the layer and share in the comments below. In the next lecture, we will talk about how to calculate the number of trainable parameters of a convolutional neural network. So see you in the next video.